more things in this building. The Undertaker's office. And Dad had an insurance office in there one time.
Oh, really?
And Undertaker did the same thing. Gus Seidel has the Undertaker business there. Post office back here, and upstairs was the telephone office, doctor's office, and the library.
Huh.
And used to always have the telephone operator, you know, they have a fire, you know, they crank the old phone, you know, and said the operator is fire somewhere, and she get up and ring the fire alarm, you know.
Oh, is that right?
And that was her job every day at noon or something like. She blow the noon whistle, you know.
Oh, to test it?
No, that was just.
I see, the noon.
Routine, the
I
noon
see.
Whistle,
To tell people what time
it was.
Okay,
yeah.
I got you. So what was on the left here in this empty place?
Hardware store, consumer grocery store. Then next to that was a drugstore. And then there was a vacant. There used to be another building here. Was a creamery.
Creamery, what'd they do
well,
there?
They sold cream.
Dairy?
Well, the dairy product. Well, not I don't know. That creamery. What they just? Remember Jeff Shavers had a creamery there?
Yeah, Pearson's had it for a while.
Yeah, but he said what they sell? I don't know.
The people brought their milk.
Farmers brought the cream
Yeah,
in.
they brought the 10-gallon cans of milk in, and they.
Little's had that over there too, next to the creamery business too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never did pay much attention, but these big 8 and 10 gallon cans in, and I don't know if they took them to use for processing cheese or whatever it was. Okay, you've got the drugstore, and then where's the, like I said, it was a vacant lot, but there used to be what's called a creamery there. And then the next building was kind of a, well, off and on. It used to be upstairs, used to be the Masons, had a lodge there upstairs. And I don't know, for years that building was vacant for a long time. They didn't have any, sometimes they started a furniture store there and some other things, but there was actually never much of any business there. And this used to be the restaurant there, the Lions Club. And I was telling you before, they used to have all this bus, there used to be a bus stop here. And always at noon, we'd buy about, well, at least 1 or 2 buses always parked out here. Then they come from Peoria and Champaign and Bloomington, and they run to, well, either over to Potomac or to Hoopston. Had different routes. And but if you want to go to Danville or something, you go and buy your ticket there, you know.
Oh, okay.
And at the restaurant there. But they did a good business there, but that was a booming business those days.
What was in the upstairs of those?
Well, I don't know, there just wasn't much up there. This building a lot of times was vacant. There'd been a dry goods store, a clothing store had been there. There's been an auto dealer was in there. And a lot of times of the years, it was vacant, you know. And at one time, the whole back of the building was torn out. And, but it never was actually any really what you call established business there. And of course, this little Stanley, you know, Dad had his office there. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Sure, oh yeah, yeah.
And of course, it was a shoe shop, originally a shoe shop. And of course, Grandpa Christiansen, I think he's one that first had built that, had a shoe shop right there. And of course, he moved to Watsika later on. Of course, for many years we didn't have a shoe shop here until about the war years, World War II, you know.
Well, do you remember when the shoe shop was there? When he had it though?
No, not Grandpa Christiansen.
Yeah.
No, I've had it before I was born.
Oh, okay.
And but that's what he had there. And here it used to be tavern. Well, of course, this building actually was the Oddfellows building. The Dad belonged to it, and Art Christian, a lot of people in town. There used to be pretty lively lodge.
Huh.
I think it had headquartered in Lincoln, Illinois, or somewhere, you know. And but it was something like I don't know, like amazing. But they had an orphanage down there and everything else down in Lincolnwood. And not Lincolnwood, Rankin, Illinois. And then, like I said, they had for many years they had a tavern in there. When they moved out, then there was they had one bowling lane in there one time, and then they moved their business over down here, down the street here, next to the post office here. And then another chain store, Grab It Here. They used to have a lot of them in Danville. And,
The Paxtons own those.
I think Paxton might have had a Grab It Here.
No, I mean, the Paxton family owned the Grab It Here's
What did
out of
they?
Danville, yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah, I went to school with Jerry Paxton. His dad owned the Grab
oh
It
yeah,
Here's,
well that was a chain store, and they had their own delivery trucks. Grab It Here, you know. It was a franchise, I think, like a franchise.
Right.
Might not have been a franchise, but I mean, at least it was a company owned all the stores.
Yeah, they were.
Owned, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was there for many years, and after that, I just lost track of what I've been in there because they got this little grocery store now. This has always been a grocery store for many years right here. Next building was the City Hall. Of course, the city still owns it, but there's nothing there. And
Was the jail there?
yeah, they had a little one-room jail. And I know when somebody get locked up, all those kids go around the back window, and look, see the guy in jail, And sometimes the guy will holler at those kids, we take off, And but that was something. We had one little jail. And the fire truck was in there, and then upstairs had all the municipal offices and everything, all the records and everything else is kept upstairs there. And well, a lot of those old papers and stuff you got up all of that building there.
Up there, right there,
were
yeah.
kept up there, yeah.
Wonder what's up there now.
I don't think there's a problem in it. I don't think that building's used for anything.
Didn't know if they cleaned it out or.
I don't know. Well, of course, we had a lot of those old Rankin papers down in the basement down there.
Right.
And of course, I think Gail took a lot of them over to Rossville or something, and sold them over there.
Yeah.
And
because they were copies of.
Yeah.
They still have the other copies somewhere else.
probably do, yeah.
And then.
Probably over here in the.
Yeah, I think there are.
Yeah.
And then this next one was the.
Was the theater. This the one on the picture there showed the marquee over here and everything else. And
What was it called?
Marquee.
I mean the theater.
Lorraine, I think it was.
Lorraine.
Yeah. And of course, the building had to be eventually torn down. Of course, I got only one. Well, there used to be what they called originally was an opera house. Years ago, and now when I was a kid too, I can remember they used to have a lot of stage shows there, and one group I know, the Bill Chickering players were there. We used to have a lot of the celebrities coming, like this guy. I can't think his name. John Ritter, Tex Ritter.
Tex Ritter, yeah.
Yeah. John Ritter's
John
dad.
Ritter's dad, yeah.
He'd come down there. He'd be, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was down here,
Well, I bet are.
And they had used to have out of Chicago, WOS used to have WOS barn dance, and they come down here and put stage shows on.
Oh, I see. Wow.
Yeah. And of course, around town there used to have a lot of places to have these medicine shows, selling all kinds of medicine, Get up there and they put on a show, and then they get up with a commercial, and they have this bottle here, it's everything from rheumatism to bedwetting and everything, and they cure that. And
That's funny.
Yeah, it was funny, but you'd be surprised, a lot of people go up there and buy that stuff, Probably just a little alcohol added to a little water or something,
Really.
And in a brown bottle, that made it original.
And then the next corner.
Well, the next one, this little building there has always been there, and then right next to that was a garage. There was a filling station, had pumps out in front there. Then you had the show window. They used to have new car sales in there. Like I say, I remember the different dealers been in there. Plymouth and Dodge dealer was there. And Hudson and Studebaker was in there.
And it was a big deal when the new cars came out.
Oh yeah, that was. Well, everybody used to flock down the showrooms, and what they only had, like Ford had about 3 different models, and Plymouth had a couple of different models on the Dodge. They didn't have all these multiple choices.
But you
And,
could tell the difference. I mean, the new styles came out, and you.
Oh yeah, the new styles came out, and it was a radical change, in all the cars. Of course, that about like 39, that was the first models that came out with the steel roof. I think it was about that time, maybe 36. No, I don't know. So I remember Ford V8 they had, 36 still had the cloth top on it.
Before that, they had just the wooden
No, it was
canvas.
canvas, kind of canvas,
Yeah,
but
right.
it was kind of impregnated with tar or whatever it was, the weather proofing,
Right.
and but it was pretty stable, but it wasn't all steel like you couldn't polish the roof, like on the metal and everything. But then they had a blacksmith shop right next to that. That was all included in the pictures here, what you had here. And
So it was a active little town too.
oh, it was very active, yeah. Oh yeah, on Saturday nights it'd be just loaded with people. All the farmers come in, bring their eggs in, and they pick up all their groceries and everything else, And it was big. And like I said, they used to bring their eggs and get credit for groceries. And I remember one time I was working down at consumers down here, and I was take the eggs and put them in crates, crate and eggs, And they bring the eggs in for credit for groceries. And oh yeah, in the stores, people used to have their big box of salt, always the salt and big 100 pounds feed sacks of different grains and stuff, Purina and all these different things.
Wow.
And all that stuff, so many things, and those days was all bulk. A lot of times, a lot of butter. You go and get butter or margarine or something. Like have a big scoop,
Yeah.
Go in the big tub there and whip it out, and they had a little paper tray, that you put and they always put it on the scale and measure that, and then they had the wax paper and wrap it up and everything else, That's the way you had. You got a lot of your stuff. And I don't think I remember that. They used to talk about the crackers. People used to buy crackers that way, Cracker Barrel and all that stuff. You got that
Right.
name. And
Oh, okay. Yeah. What about on this side? There wasn't much on this side, or was there?
this house, so it's the old Doc Liggett. He was there. There used to be a house here, and some people were in here had a shoe shop in here. But other than that, no. But this used to always be, the house has always been here. The old Doc Liggett's house. Then Dad has the insurance office. The Doc Liggett used to have a little office here, a little building like this over here. And when Doc Goodman died, not Doc Goodman, but Doc Liggett, Dad bought the office and used it for insurance office.
I see.
And that used to be up here. And of course, right next to that, there was another building here. And I know Edith Fancher, she had her beauty shop there. And that little building there has always been a little house there. And of course, Higgins has got his church office in there.
Yeah.
The people used to live there in that little house right there.
Wow.
That's kind of unusual on Main Street.
And the taverns.
Then there was another building here that's been torn down here right next to that. Used to be a grocery store. There's a Royal Blue grocery store, and then later on, those people moved out, and they had a hardware store moved in there, a Five and Dime or something like that. And they had, because two different people moved in there with the hardware. And next to that was a barber shop.